All right, so let's talk a little bit about seniors that are choosing to work, and let's talk a little bit more about that, right? So Social Security is really, um, targeted to sort of address 40% of your working income, right? And it's kind of sort of where they sit. So 40% of your working income, if you made a decent amount, might be enough for retirement. But even that's doubtful, right? You probably have to augment that with some other income or investments. But some people didn't earn a lot in their lifetime and they don't have that flexibility, right? So as you can see, sort of over the years, that uh, that more and more seniors are working, and you can just use your own life experience. And you go to the Home Depot, you might see some seniors there. You might see them in other places, and so one of the things that you have to think a little bit about is, particularly if you go on early, if you go before full retirement, you will have a reduced benefit potentially. And we're going to chat about that a little bit now or in a few minutes. But if you wait to full retirement before going on Social Security, your Social Security will not be reduced. It'll only be reduced if you go on earlier, and it'll go be reduced based on this calculation. And so let's just kind of take a look at this scenario, right? And so we're just going to say, let's assume this is 1960. Um, so this person is 65 years old. We're going to say they work part-time, and let's say they make $30,000, right? And based on our other calculation, I think we said that roughly at 62, this would not be 62, but that's fine. They would earn 1,750 a month. And we would say, no, this is not their first year receiving benefits because there's some processing differences when it's your first year. And I need to put my glasses on. But in this scenario, if we looked at this scenario, what we would find is that the limit for the amount that you're allowed to earn is 23,400. So if you earn more than $23,400, you're going to have your Social Security payment reduced, right? Is if you're not at full retirement. So if you're at 62, 63, 64, 65, and then depending on your birth year, 66, potentially, right? So if we made 30,000 and we're allowed 23,400, we're going to get $6,600. We're going to have $6,600 in excess. And so what they're going to do is they are going to withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 that I exceeded that. So if I take 6,600 and divide it by two, which is what they do here, you see that my benefits will be reduced by $3,300 this year, right? They won't do it right away, which is kind of good and bad. So, we don't know how much you're going to make until the end of the year. So they're going to do that calculation and they're going to reduce the benefit from next year, right? If you continue to work, you'll continue to see those reductions. And it may take a little while for them to catch up, but it's good to know that you're going to have some impact and sort of what that impact is going to be. Now, if you have a much larger uh, overage, let's say you own your own company, or you for some reason are able to get a consulting job, and you are able to exceed this amount significantly. If I exceeded this, if I worked and made 70,000 that year, my number would be 46,600, which would have reduced my payment by the entire amount. I would no longer have a Social Security benefit, right? So, you want to keep an eye on this. You want to watch this. So for those people who are going on at 62, or 63 or 64 or 65, and you aren't retired, um, you can see, and I've talked to many people who've had this issue where their Social Security has been either totally eliminated or uh, or eliminated significantly, right? And so that really plays into, well, why did you go on Social Security at that age, right? If you knew you're going to have that income, why would you go on? And some people might argue, oh, I just wanted to get more money, but at the end of the day, it's going to be reduced. So you're not really getting more money. So it is better to wait if you can. And the other element is, I thought I was going to retire and I didn't. Well, you can void your Social Security election and you can also pause it. And when you do either one of those, you go back to recalculating the higher amount, depending on how many payments you had and different things like that. But you can do those types of things. So just be aware of that and make sure that you are really considering carefully these options.